Welcome to Tony's Table. Today, my special guest is Robert Roundtree III, Gainesville's own, okay? We're going to have us a talk about his business, FloridaMarijuana.net. He does lots of great things with this between advocacy, information. He even puts out a few things of his own to help teach people how to use medical marijuana in personal ways. I'd like to welcome him today to have a meal with me that, well, we kind of had to change. His request of me was something that I like to make. It's a keef-crusted barbecue rib. Unfortunately, with the state of affairs in Florida and not being allowed flour at the moment, we decided to make a little shift, and today we're going to do a skirt steak with chimichurri, CBD infused. So come on, join us here in this wonderful courtyard at Swamp City Gallery and Lounge, where we're going to grill, we're going to chill, and learn a little bit more about what FloridaMarijuana.net brings to Florida and how this plant helps change the world every day. Come on, let's eat. With Robert Roundtree III. Why don't you introduce yourself to people for me? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with, your Gainesville's own.
Yeah, for sure. My name's Robert Ever Roundtree III, like Tony just said. I'm a Gainesville native, born and raised. I, like many people watching this show, been a lifelong user of cannabis, and through that have encountered different areas of society that didn't really appreciate that. I went into the Navy and was discharged actually for cannabis in my urine. So that kind of lit a bug under me, and I started to advocate and push for Amendment 2 in Florida. And when Amendment 2 started to look like it was going to pass in 2014, the first time, I started a website called FloridaMarijuana.net.
Right. That I'm proud to have you on the show to talk about that, because I know you've been busy with us for a long time. And go ahead, why don't you take some time, tell the viewers what FloridaMarijuana.net does.
Okay, yeah, well, we're basically the informational resource for Florida's medical marijuana industry. We cover late-breaking news, events, expos, product reviews. We have some product reviews of True Clear on there that's very popular. We also produce short videos, viral videos online, and have a big social media presence. We used to do a podcast on there. I segmented that off to themarijuanasolution.com. But basically, we want to provide the best information to anybody that's a current patient or looking to become a patient in Florida. So we list doctors and dispensaries. We list all of the doctors in the registry, all of the dispensaries in the registry. So you can go on there, find a doctor or dispensary, and connect with them directly. Or reach out and talk to me.
One-stop information center.
Yeah, I mean, it is the place for Florida's cannabis industry.
I'm glad that somebody's doing that for us. We need all the information we can get, as we know, in this budgeting industry. Everything's growing all the time. The more access to information we have, the better. Mm-hmm. With food, you've got a part on your website with recipes mm-hmm. and everything as well. What is it about cannabis and food that seems to be the driving factor for even both of us? I mean, I know the going through the liver and digesting keeps the medicine in the system longer and affects us differently. But for the Smartables brand, I really try to push that part, mm-hmm. The education on digesting the cannabis, not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks in between. It doesn't have to be always a edible like a chocolate or a candy.
Right.
So
you'll end up with diabetes.
Yeah, this is true. Well, there's some sugar-free things. So okay. Maybe we can hedge a little bit. But I'd like you to touch base on what your recipes do for people as well.
Good. I'm glad you asked. A lot of it is freedom for them to have a choice in how they dose themselves. That's what edibles mean to me, and being able to keep yourself, like you mentioned, at homeostasis for an extended period of time, and that's solely because of the way that the body digests it, like you said. So the liver will convert THC from delta 9 into delta 11 hydroxy THC, and it's a longer acting chemical that lasts for a much longer time. So what it means for the people that come to my website is the ability to be exposed to different ways to consume cannabis orally, because like you said, most people know about the brownies, we know about the cookies, we know about the Rice Krispie treats, but they might not know about the vegan balsamic vinegar. Yeah, that's funny.
They might not know, exactly. They might not know about that salad dressing. They might not know about how easy it is to incorporate some of these CBD oils into your regular condiments that you put on your sandwiches. You know, it's really simple things, simple ways to incorporate this wonderful plant into our everyday diet, and sometimes in some of the most minuscule ways that you might think and just not even consider, but it can be done to where, like I said, all day long you have a controlled microdose going in your system. So that's helping your wellness, getting us to that point of homeostasis where our natural healing processes take over, so that we don't have to rely on outside pharmaceutical medications, which we all know we want to get off of as much as possible.
Absolutely.
So with everything being said, I'd like you to touch base on what do you see as Florida's future, not only for FloridaMarijuana.net, but for us as a whole going forward, as the medication that it is.
I see, just recently we had 100,000 patients in Florida on
420.
Yeah. So I see the industry continuing to unfold at a rapid pace. Changes are going to happen within the existing structure to allow for things like edibles. Flower is going to come. We'll probably see home grow within a couple of years. And then beyond that, adult use legalization. For FloridaMarijuana.net, where I see it is basically being in lockstep with the industry. As it evolves, so shall we. As more patients come on, we'll expand our ability to be able to serve them and produce more content. So I just see it all growing together. There's a lot of great organizations making this happen. Obviously, as you know, the Smart Collective. We've got Greenwise TV that's producing this great content for us. Great dispensaries like Truly pushing the envelope, willing to sue the state for being able to just open up more stores to serve more patients. So I see a lot of give and take, but overall things are going to progress, and we're going to get where everyone wants to be, which is home grow and the ability to choose whatever medicine you want.
And
we would like to be able to have a big tray of buds right now with the trim bin, shaking it to make that keef.
I would love
we can't do
to be
that.
Shaking some keef right now.
Yeah, we can't do that because we like the free air, and that's what we like to do.
All right, well, I think it's time to put some food together. Let's get this chimney going and fire up this grill, all right?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get some food to it. All right, Robert, thanks for being on the show today. Hope you enjoyed the meal, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.